Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Somebody subscribed, but I can't see it in my chat. Chef Alton. Woo. Thank you for the resub. Happy 43 months. And hey, David. So, yeah, today we can only do a half day of streaming. I have a wedding event this afternoon. The goal is to just get through. The goal is to do some basic coding while organizing this. Why is this not working? Copy and paste. Cool. ABC, hey Chili. Yeah, weekend was good. Yeah, with the wedding that I am going to today has actually been going on since Saturday. And it's been nice to go to. There's been a lot of socializing. I'm an introvert. I've been kind of, I don't know, I've been like, I need a rest. I've been debating on not streaming tomorrow, but it would only be a half day anyway, so I should probably just do it. And I should probably just do polish all tomorrow. But yeah, there's a lot to get through. Anyway, we're going to start with tenants as we normally do. So let's go boot this up and copy this over. So today is the 29th. We have about a month left for checkpoint 1. On the sustainability front, how have things been going here? I think it's been fine. What is this? You now have promotional access to AI functions. I don't care. But that is interesting that they have an equals AI. That's kind of cool. All right, where do we see this? Did the game design for the loot box game? Yeah, last week went well. Yeah, I don't have much else to say there. Breaks still going great. I don't think there's a problem there. Grit, I think things have been fine, but I do wonder about my overall input. I'm productive on stream. I am pretty much on schedule, but I feel like I could be doing more. I don't know if I should be though. Illusionary Moon. Yeah, so this thing struck me like, okay, so like I said, we went to a wedding and we met someone yesterday and she was telling us about her work. She's an event host slash influencer. And we were like, what's her schedule like? And she said it's kind of like 12 hours of the event hosting stuff per day, followed by 2 hours of like editing videos for influencing stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. So even on a light day, you're working an average of probably like 10 to 12 hours. And I thought, man, my streams are, 3 hours on Tuesday. And granted, they're different businesses, we're in different like phases of our lives. But it made me wonder, like, should I do more? Could I do more? Would it be the most productive thing? Would I be happy doing it? And yeah, I don't know. I don't have answers to these questions, but it's just made me wonder. And that's the whole point of grit, is to do things when you don't necessarily feel motivated to do them. I feel like there's going to be a phase that'll hit me in the next probably few months where I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to go all in on work, and I'll do that for a few months and then I'll fall out of it, and yeah, life will go on. Good morning, Mr. Goose. Mr. Andergoose. All right. Now I had a thought here. Should I be stabilizing after every game that we make? Should I just stop making distinct phases if I feel like my to-do list is overwhelming me? I don't have an answer to this either. I think there has been a lot just on my mind and on my to-do list. I think the biggest problem, and I should probably just write this down. I think the biggest problem is that I'm starting a new project every like 2 to 4 weeks, but not finishing any of them. So they're all hanging over me. I think Tuesdays should be non-negotiably polish days for good. Otherwise, this stuff will just keep stacking up. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if I'm like excited to start a new game. It's like too bad we go back to old stuff for a little bit of time. 42 degrees Celsius. That's 108 Fahrenheit. Yeah, this is crazy. the hottest day that we had in the last, I don't know, 10 years was 44. And this was like ultra heat advisory. Don't go outside. Don't do anything. So yeah, I can imagine, 42 on a regular day. I mean, I know there's been a heat wave going on. Seen a different goal and time investment profile compared to Canada. Yeah. Also, she was kind of just starting out with these businesses, and she knows that she's building it up now. Yeah, we have different circumstances. The other thing too is, let's say, just like without a doubt, let's say the best thing for me to do is to work like 16 hours a day. If I can't do it, or if I don't like it, then I don't know. Does it matter if that's the best thing? That's another aspect of this. And I don't think this is the best, just to be clear. This is just a random hypothetical. Like, if we could prove somehow that, yes, working 16 hours a day is the best, you will make the best product, you'll get the most money out of it, whatever. Like, is that my goal? Yeah. And I think that's where I look at these tenets every week. The one about breaks is pretty easy to do. You just take a break every hour. But these two, sustainability and grit, are kind of opposites. Like, sustainability is, hey, don't burn out, and grit is like, do what you need to do to get stuff done. And sometimes it's hard to do that without burning out. East Coast heat wave coming in. Yeah, I saw a picture about that. I think someone shared it on Discord. East Coast heat wave. Extreme heat watch. Yeah, this is nuts. Nuts. More than 100 record high temperatures are expected. Oh, man. Yeah. All right, well, I don't really have a ton of thoughts about this, and I don't think it's worth doing too much other than just saying Tuesdays have to be polished days. I think they're non-negotiable, or else I'll always have an ever-growing to-do list of old projects. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just delete this now. All right, so I can only stream in the morning, plan AI, code some tasks, and while waiting, tackle the to-do list. Let's go take a look at what we had from Friday. I did not do any code work over the weekend. Yeah, I relaxed on Saturday. Then Sunday was like wedding stuff mostly, I feel. So we got it to the point where you can open the perk board and see upgrade information here. Yeah, I think this is fine. New game, hey Dora. New game from when you were last here. Let me see. You were last here on February. Yeah, I think this is a new game since then. I think we started this in April. And hey Phil. Yeah, the new game is called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. All right, so let's go look through this. I also, just to kick off my AI usage for the day, I asked, like, how would you improve the code here? I didn't even look at the code, so I just asked this just to, like I said, just kick off my AI quota. Let's see, perk data, make it the single source of truth. Currently cost, maximum level, description, formatting, level curves are scattered across a bunch of different things. So where is this? I don't think that's a problem. And that's not a problem. And what is this? Line 13. It won't let me scroll. That's weird. No, I don't think it's a problem. All right, remove the redundant purchase event relay. Purchase currently travels. Perk button, perks dialog, loot boxes, ultimately only printing a message. Meanwhile, set money already raises money changed, which refreshes every perk button. Extra perk purchased. Events and second refresh can disappear. Eventual perk effects belong directly in try purchase perk. Yeah, this is probably worthwhile. So check in the code that I had, and then kick off another task, and then look through this list to prune things / organize things. All right, yeah, this I think is good. And then what? Simplify and correctly scope the tooltip. Elaborate candidate corner search that throws if placement is impossible. UI layout should fall back to a clamp position rather than crash. Also, the shared tooltip uses lootbox specific artwork, so either move it under lootbox or give the shared component a neutral theme. Metrics reach only after the earlier data. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Hey, Manatocline. Remember hearing about some studies showing that there's a gap between how much stress is sustainable and how much stress becomes overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah, and this is where I was saying, like, my days have been super productive. Like, I don't feel like I've been working a lot, but I feel like I've been getting a lot of stuff done. And that desire to do a little bit more is probably caused by me not burning as much energy, just being productive in the time I have. I think the other thing too is this: the stream is a whole other layer on top of this. Like, whether I'm productive with the game or not, I could do that without streaming. Streaming does take energy. So yeah, a lot of stuff to think about. Keep still and perk ID validate lookup table runtime registration UID files. No files change. Project built successfully. Func string appears unnecessary. Perk ID validity check is reached only after earlier data lookups would already throw. Where is that? Perk ID dot none. If it's not valid, what do we do? I see. The check for perk ID dot none doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah. This is kind of stupid. So it's not is valid. It's just cost is greater than 0. Wait, no. This also doesn't matter. What do I care about this? Actually, I never even thought about that. We could just make the portal perk cost 0. So you literally don't even need to spend any money for it. I don't think there's a purpose in doing that. Yeah. AC program lover. Are you going to marry someone? I'm already married. I've mentioned my wife many, many times on stream. Okay, so we don't need that. What else do we have here? There was another point that I thought was interesting here. Simplify and correctly scope the tooltip. So what namespace is this in? Game.ui. Yeah, I think we can change some of this stuff. Tooltip.cs. Okay, so first of all, let's just do this and save, and that'll fix some of this, like, this should have gone away. No, that shouldn't have gone away. There was a... Oh no, there's just weird syntax highlighting over there. Yeah, I like the idea of changing this. Okay, I'll just say tackle items number 2 and number 3. Let's get out of plan mode here. We're already out of it. Yeah, I don't feel strongly about this stuff. All right, so review the code that I had. Like I said though, in between doing this stuff, I want to look at my backlog and figure out what we're doing here. How long does the itch summer sale go on for? Summer sale. We had enough time. Yeah, 7 days. All right, so pretty much sometime this week, we got to look at this. Today is pretty packed. Maybe on Wednesday. It's got to be Wednesday or Friday, right? Yeah, it's got to be Wednesday or Friday. I think doing another game design day would be a good idea. Well, it's not something I really budgeted for. I guess it could be either day. So yeah, I'll just write it down for Wednesday and we'll say figure out some new sub games. I want to do this while the itch summer sale is running and it'll only be for 5 more days. We could push this to Friday, but not beyond that. Hey, Franken. All right, so what does that entail? I got some ideas here. I've got all this stuff. Yeah. I guess we just move this to this list. I need to put some more thought into this. I've been struggling a little bit with a kind of a core idea, which is Stuck in a Broken Tutorial has a bunch of different broken tutorials. And how do we make them different enough so that they don't feel repetitive? And I had a thought experiment this morning. I forgot what the game idea was, but let's say you took, I don't know, like Mario Kart. Like, how would we make an interesting broken tutorial for Mario Kart? And I've got the same like general ideas. Like, oh, it'd be cool if you could just turn into a spaceship and just fly over the course. It would be cool if the thing that was broken is like the lap tracker. So in a lot of Mario Kart games, imagine like a perfect circular track. You can't just go from like past the finish line, then backwards, and past the finish line again. You need to go enough around the circle. And so now when you don't have it be a perfect circle anymore and there are shortcuts. So we just look at like Super Mario Kart maps. So make it much more obvious than what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so here, for example, we open up that image, any of these images, it doesn't matter what. So this doesn't really have shortcuts, I guess, because there's this impassable wall in the middle. But like, let's say this wall wasn't here. You could cut across like just straight here, I think get to the finish line and go around and then cut across again. So almost every racing game has some, well, pretty much every racing game without bugs has some logic to just stop you from going in a tiny circle around the finish line over and over, or else you'd win in like 3 seconds and you never have to do any tracks. But that's like another way of making it broken, is bypass the mechanics of the game. So yeah, I feel like we've done this at a high level already, and we'll probably continue to do it where it's, okay. Yeah, bypass the mechanics of the game or change the mechanics of the game. I wonder if there's some way to play within the mechanics of the game. Or yeah, the top-down shooter does this and lies about what those mechanics are. I guess if you're playing within the mechanics of the game, then it's not broken. Just graduated today, received a job offer a few weeks ago on my internship as a software dev. Really exciting. Having a few weeks off for vacation. Well, congrats on all of that stuff. Graduation, the job, the having vacation. Yeah, that's amazing. There's a bug in Diddy Kong Racing where you could repeatedly go backwards through the lap marker to win. Huh, interesting. I think Diddy Kong Racing is a very well-made game. I didn't know about that. I know there were parts of Mario Kart 64 where you could like kind of glitch out the game and do some crazy stuff. And as long as that's not good. As long as a player doesn't ever experience that on their own in like a normal game, I think it's okay. If it were a multiplayer game, I'd say yeah, definitely patch that out. Strange. Also, this is still working, I guess. Yeah, anyway, I got to think about that. So my overall problem with wanting variety of broken games, we have this. You have bypass the mechanics of a game, e.g. loot boxes. You enter the portal to leave it, or change the mechanics of a game. Mario Kart, you enter a spaceship and win every race quite easily. Or abide by the mechanics of the game. Top-down shooter. We just lie about those mechanics. The problem here is that it's hard to... is that this game is about broken tutorials. Hey, Magnus. Clip through the track, and as long as you're down there, flip gravity and race along the underside of it. Yeah, so it's a change the mechanics of a game. And I wonder, like, so this is part of what I struggled with for Skeleseller. Originally, we didn't have an identity of, like, what's the gameplay loop exactly. And then at some point I realized, like, okay, it's about, like, it's getting perks. So the perks will be the interesting thing. And that means that prioritizing them is the strategy, or at least one of the strategies. So if we're stuck in a broken tutorial, it could be that most games fall into this category of change the mechanics of the game. And in that case, okay, great. Then we can move forward with this. We could be like, all right, we got a top-down shooter. Like, what do we do to change the mechanics of the game? Like, I don't know, you role play as an individual bullet that has to level up so it can do enough damage. Like those are things that are like, oh, interesting. Like that's kind of cool, right? You could have 2 games whose tutorials are for the other one. Yeah, I guess that's another change of mechanics. Yeah, I think I should put a star here. This could be what Stuck in a Broken Tutorial turns into by default, since it's still interesting and encapsulates the like the not the value prop, but I guess like the essence of broken tutorials. You're in a space shooter, but your bullets don't do damage. So you role play as a bullet and level up. Then you kill the boss in 1 hit or something like that. Atomic, wedding season is upon us, yeah. I think it's good. I think bypassing the mechanics of a game, if that happened too often, I don't think this would be fun. If this happened too often, it probably wouldn't be fun. And yeah, if this happened too often, they wouldn't feel like broken tutorials. All right, great. Let's go back to code for a second here. So this presumably made a bunch of changes. I want to go look at them because I have not still reviewed any of this code. So let's go see. What do we have here? So perk levels looks good. This now doesn't exist anymore. You just purchased a perk also doesn't exist. Where? What? You just purchased. This doesn't exist anywhere. I don't think this is a good change. I don't think this makes any sense. Do we just have dismissed? Yeah, what happens when you click a button? Unless we listen to it from somewhere else, but it doesn't seem like we do. Grab focus, yeah, I don't. It's like we just deleted this. Try purchase, where does that exist? This is a function that's passed in. All right, where in init? So let's go up to init and see where that's called here. Try purchase is passed in from this init. Perks dialog. Try purchase perk. All right, so there's no printout here. We just set the level higher and then that's it. All right, so gd.print you, what did they used to say? I don't know what it used to say. So you leveled up perk ID. Sure. Let's check that out. Control the main party on the overworld, but the enemies in battle. Yeah, all of this is the changing the mechanic style, and I think it would be fun and interesting to see all those play out. So I think this was a productive brainstorming session in coming to that conclusion. Because again, I mentioned Skeleteller here, like what was the gameplay loop? But part of the gameplay loop might have been like really micromanaging your characters. Something almost like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Imagine if you had like Skeleton 1 is like, I need water. And now you're like, oh, I got to go find water for them. How do I manage that with everything else that I'm doing? And, you know, Skeleton 2 is like, I need a home. So it's like, well, we got to divert resources to building them a home. Or yeah, customers might have needed equipment and you've got to go equip them. And there are these mini quests. And it's like, that could have been a fun game. I don't know, but that's not what we settled on. And Stuck in a Broken Tutorial could entirely be about like, okay, we're parodying tutorials. I don't think that'd be fun for a long time. I think it's more fun to be like, all right, what wacky game ideas and what like crazy things are happening here. So I like that. And it gives me something I can go off of. All right, is this working? It looks like it's working. So what happens if I buy this? You leveled up perk customer speed. You leveled up perk more treasure stands. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Okay. Ooh. So this is done. This is good. That's fine, I guess. Yeah. All right, get perk level. Why is this a function? because this is passed in from the parent so that we just don't have the dictionary of IDs here. Get perk level. Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We only make so many of these buttons, right? Then try purchase. Yeah, I think this is a weird way to do things. Like try purchase. I think it should have just emitted a signal. Let me take a look at this again. Try purchase. So loot boxes passes in, or this passes in? No, yeah, loot boxes passes in. Try purchase perk. Because our money amount is over here. Okay, you know what? I think this is okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's keep looking through this. That's looking fine. This is probably fine. What is this function? Refresh state. Yeah, let's just leave it for now. Get max level. That's fine. On mouse entered. Is mouse hovering? And what do we use this for? To see if we should have the tooltip there? Yeah. Okay. That's totally fine. Yeah, there are mouse controls here. I don't actually know if we even want to support mouse and keyboard. Like, I don't know if the mouse has a place in this game. So we might just have keyboard controls, for example, and no real mice controls. Or maybe it's like optional mouse. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's not super important right now. So the tooltip's null, return, otherwise refresh tooltip, or hide for source. Interesting that this exists here. This is probably not needed. Yeah, I wonder how much this was just modeled after the Skeleseller code base. All right, so perk button, just got rid of a texture on here. So what does that look like if we open it up in the editor? Perk button. Pretty much nothing. I mean, I think it's worth having something in here. So we just load up the Apple core, for example. And then none of this file should have changed. Yeah, that way you can at least tell when you're looking at this what this looks like. There goes your Disney sponsorship opportunities. Well, Minnie could have a place, but Mickey, no way. Come on. Thanks, Mac. Yeah, the old tooltip, a game staple. This is all fine. And this is fine. Yep, cool. I'm happy with that. Perks dialogue. I don't think anything really changed here, did it? No, we just put in specific perks now. That's all. That's fine. And a tooltip. Yep, okay with that. That's also fine. All right, what are we looking at here? Yep, this is all reasonable. Validate perk data. So we make sure there's a display name. We make sure there are SVG files in the res folder. And then we validate level curve. What's the point of this? Expected value count. Oh, to make sure that the max level matches how many values we have. That's fine. Yeah. This is also okay. These need to be translated at some point. I think I have a note about this. Translated, yeah. Perk data is a big one. Well, perk data, names, descriptions. All right, so form tooltip, description, and table. Yeah, this all had worked fine. This is pulling a lot of code from Skeleseller. Hey, Pretzel. My friends do. Customer speed. This tooltip. Okay, yeah. Then the SVG file for that. Then perk data. Why is this gray? Redundant class keyword and record declaration. What? You can just type record and it's a class by default? I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. I kind of prefer having this there, in which case we just ignore this. Yeah, this redundant class. This is the only place it can even happen, right? C# record default type. It must say that it's a class. Yeah. Huh. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think I prefer having class there. Is that Is that silly of me? Because this can only happen in this instance. You have public record something. Well, it doesn't have to be public, I guess, but like record and then some data. So it's like one line that gets changed, and it differentiates between structs and classes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna disable this. How do we do this? Hint maybe. Do not show. Hey, faceless. I'll say do not show. I think it's fine. All right, that looks good. Perk ID, that looks fine. Perk tooltip. This is a little crazy, so let's look at that in a sec. And then the TSCM file, yeah. So that's all we have left to do. Perk tooltip. Well, why can't I find that here? That's strange. It should exist. This happens every once in a while. Yeah, here it is. All right, so we can't see anything in here. It's literally just a label. All right, well, that's reasonable. All right, let's look at this. Warlock, my TypeScript brain can't comprehend. So in TypeScript, you would just have defined a type that represents the structure of data that you want. The difference here in C# is you could have value versus reference for records. But yeah, if you look at this page, it's not super crazy. And there are some simple examples here. It's really just data blobs. Like, hey, you have a person, it's a first name and a last name. Or you have a point, it's an X, Y, and a Z. All right, screen padding, source gap. What is this? I see. Gap between the source of the tooltip and the tooltip content. And screen padding is how close to the edge we can get? Yeah. How close to the edge of the screen we can get. As we call show, position next to source. There's a call deferred, which is really important. This might need to be 2 frames on Windows. I'm not positive. Hide for just calls hide, position next to source. Clamped X. Candidates. Try use candidate. Yeah, I think this is okay. That's quite many. 150 streams. Man. Does that number go up by 2 every day that I stream twice? Or can it only go up by 1 per day? Like if I stream 24 times in a day, could that number go up by 24? Do you know that, Apressel? Add tooltips for perks. It can go up twice. Okay, yeah. All right, so now what? Need to add a tooltip. Just need to commit this. Get all the colors and outlines to look good. Yeah, that's something in cleanup that we can do. Where's polish? I didn't make a polish section. Wait, really? What? Could have sworn I had that written down. Okay, well, let's write this here. Get all the colors and outlines of perk icons to look good. Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right, so this is done. The first upgrade is to give you a portal. So we should probably add that in. We should probably add the portal stuff, maybe. Actually, I kind of want to do this next. And then maybe the upgrades. We have some customer stuff and whatever. I can put all this on my Monday list. There's just a lot to this. I think this should just be in the backlog. Yeah. There's already a mess. Loot boxes work. All right. Add on-screen widget using Skeleseller UI for showing how much gold you have. Start the player with 3 gold. There's a starting money property exported. Should probably delete the export after that. Yeah, so we got to go load this up in Skeleseller. Let's see what it looks like. Because we have more information here. So I think I just want this inside of a UI and none of this stuff probably. What and why are we doing on Skeleseller? Oh, so this new subgame is very similar to Skeleseller. It's essentially inspired by Skeleseller. I'll show you what it's all about. Hey, Ramy. How's your human blood pressure? Not that oil pressure. Well, I find myself desiring silicon in vast quantities, as most humans would. I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah, so this is the loot boxes game. You can talk to this treasure chest and buy a chest. So now we have a silver chest here, and you can open it, and it pops open a bunch of items, which you can then get close to and set the price. And then these customers will walk around and they can eventually purchase this stuff. They have no limit to how much they'll spend. So he just bought that for like 9,000 gold. So now I could buy the most expensive treasure chest. Whoops, that's not buying a treasure chest. There. So we bought some treasure chests. We can open these up. So yeah, this is the new sub game we're working on. And yeah, like I said, it looks like Skeleseller. None of these things are functional yet. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a different take on Skeleseller. The whole point is like, hey, opening up these treasure boxes are pretty fun. Treasure chests. So like, how long will people spend in this game opening treasure chests if you don't have to? And I think the answer is going to be quite a long time. Yeah. Hey, Saro, the move happened, right? You all settled? Will you have a stat show at the end how long you've wasted here? I don't think so. I don't want to like hit the player over the head with it. I want them to be like, "Oh, I could have just left." Okay. So sometimes games can be broken in that sense. Started last week with training. Ooh, how's it feel? Nice, that works. Hey, Quackman. It's been a long time for me. Good to see you're still game deving. See that using Sublime for to-do list got replaced for the superior Google Docs. Yeah, there was some time where I was still using VS Code and what was it called? Plain Tasks, I think. And then I switched mostly to Google Docs and GitHub. But yeah, how's it going, Quackman? Welcome in. We're working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. It's actually a bunch of different games. So there's a platformer, there's a farming game, there's a top-down shooter. I did not put the music into this yet. And then this loot boxes game. And we have a lot of work to still do here. Aside from me trying to creak these old phones and play volleyball with the younger colleagues. Partially tore my ankle ligament. Oh my god. Gotta ease into that. Yeah. Yeah, what's been new with you, Quack, man? We released a game called Skeleseller. I think it's still on sale for like another week. I don't actually know. July 9th. Yeah. It's actually a little bit longer, huh? Nature correct me quickly. I mean, it could happen to anybody. I probably do need easier way into it still, though. Yeah, you got to tear smaller ligaments, work your way up. All right, so on-screen widget that we had for Skeleseller. So this is called what? Town Menu, I think. And it had a lot of stuff in it. The important part is the picture. Where is that? It must be in here, Town Menu theme. Because that's what I want. Hey, stats. New window. All right, let's go load that up. I'm pretty sure it's Town Menu. I just didn't see a ping in there, which means it must be coming from the theme. Yeah, there it is. Theme panel. Got it. All right, so what is this called? Menu panel? And then within it, I want there to be a money banner. Okay. Oh no, the climbing wall design. I need to rest. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. We had a joke kind of puzzle in the first game I ever released, which is a variety puzzle game. You're given a key with a choice of 5 prison cells to open. When you open a cell, the key breaks. The solution to the puzzle is just to leave with the key. Did people like it? Not sure if that's positive or negative. I think it's positive. All right, so yeah, I want the town menu here. Where do we put this? Inside town.tscn? No, town itself has a UI. No, UI itself has a UI. Yeah. And we have the town menu in here somewhere. There it is. This is a VBox container that happened to include the notifier as well. So I want this just positioned on screen. I guess we just go make a town menu. In fact, I don't even think we need to do anything too crazy for this, right? Yeah, let's just go copy some stuff over. All right, let's start with the graphic. The graphic was menu panel.png. I'm not already using that, am I? FFI menu panel. No, not already using it. All right, so where does that exist in Skeleseller then? FFI menu panel. There it is. Okay, so let's copy this over to assets, no, game/assets/sub games. No. I don't know where this is. I don't have my own folder structure here. Sprites, UI, loot boxes. Yeah, in here. All right, so just copy path. Drat. Okay, so now we have the menu panel, and then we need that little ribbon. Where's the ribbon? What's this called? Coin banner. Copy path. Okay, so CP this into here. All right, now we just go use them. Use them the same way. People hated the puzzle. Made retries really slow. It's terrible design in retrospect. Some of the puzzles were great. Others are terrible. It reminds me of that Mitchell and Webb look, I think is what it's called. There's a sketch that they did. They were a sketch comedy group, and they did a sketch about their sketch comedy where they were planning their sketches for the season. They said, okay, let's start on a good sketch, and then we'll do a terrible one, and then another terrible one, and then a couple of great ones, and then an okay one. And they were just mocking how people think, like, why did they include these bad sketches in here? It's like, not everyone's going to like them, and they seem like good ideas when they're produced. Like, they're not intentionally trying to make bad sketches. I think there's sometimes ways of framing it differently that could make it good. So this idea of there being a key and the key breaks and you have to retry until you realize, oh, there's no solution to this. I think the destructive nature of like, well, look, I want to use a key naturally and you're telling me not to use it. I think that can be tough. I think we had cases like this in Skeleseller where it's just like, I made a design decision where I'm like, you know what, you won't be able to control partial priorities. So like, oh, sometimes bring this to the farm, but sometimes bring it to the potion shop. And that people didn't like that necessarily, but I'm like, it's just a casual game. All right, let's make a new control here. This is going to be town menu. This itself was a panel container. I think just keeping it as a panel container is probably fine. Change to panel container. Save as scenes, sub games, loot boxes, UI. I guess we call this town menu. It's not really a town menu anymore, though. It's just like money display. Yeah, money display. That's fine. And it happens to be inside of a panel. But all we even really need there is this money banner, which is a texture rectangle and a money label. The money label itself is an HBox container for some reason. Oh, because there's a sprite and... Oh, interesting. We didn't put this as an animated texture. I guess you don't really do that. All right, well, let's take a look at that then. Hey, Janet, welcome in. And hi, Raiders. Hi, Shader. And hey, JP. Yeah, howdy, everyone. I hope Janet had a good stream. I know a lot of people raid now without actually popping into the stream. Oh, hey, Janet. What have you been working on lately? I saw you were doing some game stuff. And there was some other project in between. And I was hanging out with Fern recently, and she said you two are friends. Writing a game in C. What kind of game is it? I remember for a little while there was the adult farming game, which someone had mentioned might have just been a joke. I don't recall. And yeah. Anyway, game in C is interesting. Hey, Pickle, a platformer. Okay, yeah. Well, for those new here, we're working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, and this is not that game. This is a different game. It's a combination of a bunch of games, one of which happens to be a platformer. So yeah, you start out in. Oh my God, this is loud. All right, let me turn this down. Yeah, you start out on a platformer, and there's basic platformer mechanics. This is never supposed to get that intense. And you eventually make your way over to the first broken section of the game over here. I'll just dash over here. And it says try to collect the diamonds in one go. So most players are going to be like, oh, this is exactly what it seems like, right? I'll just go try to collect these. And you experience the first instance of brokenness in this game. Anyway, from here, you end up going through a bunch of different games. So you'll eventually end up in a farming game. And then we made this top-down shooter. And this, I have not put the music in yet, but I have composed it already. So I just need to plop that in. And what we've been working on lately is a Skeleseller inspired game where you can buy treasure chests and open them, and you get the items out of them, which you can then set the price on. And then customers will come over and buy it or not buy it based on the price. We've only just started working on this a week ago, so this one's not too fleshed out yet. But yeah, there are customers walking around. They'll go buy stuff. So what we're adding right now is a money display in the top, so you can actually tell how much money you have. You do earn money, we just don't show it to you anywhere. So like I don't have enough to afford this treasure chest, but I don't know, what should I set these to? Let's just set this to like 9,000 and go add a bunch of customers and speed this up. Yeah, so there. Now we have enough money to be able to afford this. So this is no longer red and we can buy it. We don't have space for it. There we go. So yeah. So I'm super excited about this game. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna take a couple years to make. What's your timeline you have planned, Janet, for your game? And hey, Steph, how's the new game? Oh, it's going really well. Yeah, been a lot of progress. I've been trying to divide my weeks up. So one of the biggest lessons I learned from making Skeleseller is launching sucks, and I want to spread out the bad work over the course of the game. So let me back up. In my mind, none of the work is really bad. It's just bad in a certain quantity. So like, could I do UI work for a day? Yes. Could I do UI work for 100 days? No. I don't find that to be good in that quantity. So there's a lot of launch prep in my mind is things like polish, bug fixes, marketing, maybe making music, depending on how much I'd already done at that point. And these things they're not tasks I can do for weeks on end, but you kind of have to if you haven't done it before then, because you can't just launch an unpolished game. So I started just going kind of crazy toward the end of Skeleseller, and I don't want to do that again. So I want to make polish days are probably going to be Tuesdays, music days are probably going to be Thursdays, and then coding days are the rest of them. And I mean, everything else goes into that. So game design and yeah, that way I don't get to the end of the project and I'm like, okay, time to do 3 months of wrapping things up. It just burned me out so completely. Yeah. So basically 10 games in one. Yeah, a lot of games. I don't know how many it'll be. No timeline. I see. Is there some story as to why you sell things? There's no story for individual games in here. In this particular sub game that you saw, you actually don't need to sell anything. You will eventually come up here and upgrade you'll buy a portal, and then you can just walk out of the portal and leave the game. And that's the real intent of this game. Just see how long people stay in opening loot boxes. Yeah. What about French days? Did we already make this joke? Yes. You cannot use the word polish and not have people equate it with Polish. Do you get unstuck eventually? Can you win? Yeah. There's a storyline and everything too. I didn't really show this off, but the very first instance of story is here. Let me turn this off. You encounter your first cutscene by going through this like dark chamber and entering this office, which you don't realize is an office yet. And you get banished from this into your next game. You will have more run-ins with this character. You'll meet some other characters. You'll learn more about like, what is this world you're in? So it's a story-driven, linear, kind of slightly comedy game. And yeah, I think it's interesting for a lot of reasons. I wonder what it'll be like when people start playing it. Will they enjoy it? Will they find it funny? So I've only had 5 playtesters so far. They mostly liked it. And we'll do another round of playtests in another month. I'll probably ask another like 5 friends to do it. I think it'll be interesting. Anyway, like I said, we are adding a money counter into the game right now. So I only just started doing this. This should not take very long, I think. So we make this have this style box. Let me just move this off screen. So we need the panel to be style box texture, quick load in the menu panel texture, then go set all these things. This is 48, 17, 56, 52. I typed 522. I need to clean this keyboard. Abby is a keyboard menace. And she's the reason why the keyboard needs cleaning. All right, that should look pretty good, right? Then we set the texture on this to nearest. Yeah, pretty solid. All right, and we call this money display. So now inside of here, we're going to add in a money banner. This is the animated coin inside of the banner label, right? Yeah. And I hope this looks fine. And that in itself was all, wait a second. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. This just overlaps with the other one. Do we set like a negative? Oh my God, we did. Okay, so this is just coincidental. We didn't actually put the coin inside the banner. We just overlapped them so they look like they're inside. Huh. So in a right to left language, this would probably have broken. Not that we have any right to left languages in here. Once you're done with Polish days, you finish the game. See, in my mind, it's only pronounced Polish when it's capitalized, which I think is what's contributing to other people making this connection constantly. They don't capitalize words. And hey, monkeys. I'm saying it's a problem with everyone else, not with me. All right, so texture rectangle, that is this banner. Let's go add that in. And I guess we can put this in an HBox container. Yeah. Texture rectangle, quick load in. Look at banner, Michael. Just always think of that. Love Arrested Development. All right, we want to set this to shrink center. The vertical alignment is set here. There should be expand mode, keep scale, keep size and scale. Yeah, that's already set. And then there should be container sizing to be shrink center. Yeah. So something like this. This entire thing should not be the size that it is. We want to set this to like that. And then alongside this is a label and an animated coin. We should already have the coin icon. Yeah. I just want to center this now. Done. And then we would, I mean, if we want to just apply the exact same thing I did before, we do something like that. And there we go. Then we would need another HBox container in here. This one keeps the coin icon, and then beside it is a label for the amount of money you have. So we can just say like 100 here, and then increase the size here so that it looks like it's a little bit more separated. And that's that. Well, that's almost that. I guess there should be maybe a tiny bit more padding here. I think we never encountered this as a problem because in Skeleseller we had buttons that are at least large enough for this. In this one, we don't have any other buttons that are going to go in here. This is not really a menu. It's just a single UI. So we could change the content margins for this. We could also put a margin around this thing. I think that's probably the best. Let's just make a margin container and put this in here. And then just increase the size over here to like 5555. It's not bad. I don't know. Do we even need the scroll panel here? I'd like to have it for consistency. Yeah, just LR. You don't think we should have the top bottom ones? I don't know. I think they're necessary because of the shading around this. Yeah. But we'll test it in the context of the game. The other thing that I wanted to do is match the color here. So let's go take that color and plug that in over here. Theme, color, font, paste. And I don't think we need an outline or anything. I think it's probably good. Might need to be a minimum width too. I think we should do that so that this doesn't expand. Yeah, I think we should do that. I'll put it on the label because that's what would expand here. Minimum size width 100. No, that's way too much, right? How many numbers can we fit if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Because I'm okay with it expanding at some point. And different font sizes will want different minimum sizes, or different fonts, I mean, will want different minimum sizes. But like, that's probably pretty good. Yeah. All right, so we call this money label. And then, sure, keep that like that. That's okay. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, something. My 2 is double typing. Oh, and then this needs to be set to linear. That's why that looks bad. There, now it looks crisp. And then we make a script for this. And sure, call it money display, but put it in a different spot. Loop boxes, money display, create. Okay, so we have a money label, private label, money label equals null, GD ready, money label equals get node money label. And then we just need an update money amount or like public void set money, whatever, int money, and set the money labels text. Dunzo. Now we probably want there to be an N0 in here so it gets commas correctly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we go add one of these things into the game UI. So we have loop boxes, has a UI layer. Let's go instantiate it in a money display and fetch this from inside of here. We get all of our nodes here, I guess. So private money display, money display. I'll put this over here, get node. All right, so whenever your money changes, and I think we have a set money already. Yeah, we'll just set this over here too. Oh, we also have this. Why? I don't like this idea. Yeah, I don't like this idea at all. We have an event that only this internal class uses. I get why, but whatever. All right, so let's go back to set money and put this here. Money display, set money, money. Great. And why is this red? Missing partial. Oh, this gets deleted by writer sometimes. I don't like how that happens. All right, let's try running this. So now we should have a money display in the game. It might look a little out of place. I also, wait, did I position it? I don't even think I positioned it. Yeah, okay, so it's sort of weird. But if we go get money by doing this, I guess, there we go. Now it's set to 400. So if we buy something else, yeah, 300, 200, 100. And if we earn money, yep, they just bought one thing. So we have 101 now, 102. Yeah, so it's working. We got to put it in the right spot. Yeah, I did no effort whatsoever here. So we could just do that. And then change the, why is this huge? Huh. I think it's just because of the resolution of this game. Hey, Jesta. Give me a 20-second explanation of why the internal class subs to the event. So in this case, we could do it either way. Where is the, there we go. So, one, this was written by AI. So AI decided this is the way it wanted to go. But the other way we could have done this is we could have had some internal, like, yeah, money just changed. And then in here, we call anything that we would have called through the event. So we iterate over all of our treasure chests and call money change on them, refresh affordability. We could also have passed in treasure chest offers when we initialize this, we could pass in this, literally this, and then listen for money changed on this instance. Then that gets coupled to this. There's a coupling in, there has to be a coupling in one direction, I feel here. Like either the treasure chest listens for this or this tells the treasure chest the update. And it just doesn't really matter how it was done as long as we're cleaning up events when they're needed. Because in terms of time complexity, it's going to be the same. In terms of ownership, these are all sub games that are kind of tightly coupled anyway. What is that? What is that? I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Is it a flower? It might be the edge of a flower. I don't think this is a bug worth fixing or anything, but I want to take a look at why that's happening. It's by this path over here. Yeah, right there. All right, so we turn off the trees. Yeah, it's a flower. Okay. Wanted the coupling to be in the internal class. I can see that reasoning. Yeah, and I don't think these are one of the things where it's like, if let's say you have 5 different ways to code things and they all seem pretty much fine on the surface, I think they won't seem fine once you start adding to the code. So it's like, if you never touch that code again, yeah, any of those 5 methods might work. And then if you find out like, okay, hold on, now we're coupling to like 7 different classes, let's decouple some of this. Then it's like, all right, well, now it's revealed that there are different requirements. And yeah, no worries, no worries. Also, I don't think it's segmenting when you're responding to stuff like that. All right, so the only problem I had with this is the size of the UI itself. We can only shrink this so much because the graphics themselves are a particular size. Like, I could try cutting this down to half size. Didn't I do this somewhere? I think I did it here. Yeah, I could try cutting this down to half size. Let's see what it looks like. Whoops. Oh, it pretty much looks fine, right? I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, I don't see a problem with this. I think this should be, well, I don't know if it should be centered. Because money grows to the right this way. It just looks a little weird to have that much padding. Maybe we only make the minimum size like 5 digits big and not whatever I did, 7 or something. Money label, minimum width. So what if we could fit, let's just make it fit 6. Yeah, I'll just shrink this until that looks good. Yeah, now this is a very English-centric way of doing this. Also, this is not a monospace font, so if we do a bunch of 9s, oh, it does work. But if we put one more, it'll just expand it anyway. Yeah, all right, so great. Let's do that. Perhaps centering could work. I think it'd look a little weird, though. Yeah, I think it'd look a little weird, because then there'd be a bunch of space between the money icon and this. I think this is pretty good. I think we're also going to need it for anywhere you can spend money. You should probably put a little money label somewhere here, because right now it's being covered up. Alternatively, we make it so that this dialogue shows beneath this dialogue, which might look a little strange. But for now, I'm not too concerned about this. I just want to get the money display and we have it. Yeah. See, stats is segmenting there. Please do not segment those messages. Wait a sec. What just happened? That's not supposed to happen. The minimum price here is supposed to be 1. Why? Okay, that's a bug. I guess let's write that down. Bug, you can set the price of an item to 0. The UI will think it's 1, but the label in town will think it's 0. Got to figure that out. All right, so I've done this. Start the player with 3 gold. There's a starting money property exported to the Godot editor. I should probably delete the export on that. Yeah. I think another thing I hadn't really thought of earlier is like the portal upgrade could just be free. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. As a player, I can eyeball the max amount of money I can have. Yeah, and to be clear here, there is no max. But there's a realistic maximum in terms of how much money does it take to get all the upgrades you might need. Anyway, an ad break is about to start, so I will take my break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. By the way, for those who haven't seen this, you can type join in Twitch chat and join, and then J and a number to jump. Goal is to make it as high up as you can. I will be back in a few minutes. I'll take my break. I'll see you soon. Hello, hello. Close the game. Hey, Tycon. All right. Excuse me. All right, so we got the money display in the game. I mean, that was the task. We did it. So I guess we just go check this in. But there was another little piece of it if we wanted to do it. A starting money export, setting your actual starting money, setting the amounts of each treasure chest, and then setting in the portal upgrade. Let's just check this in for now. Yeah, let's go take a look. So money display, set money when it changes, add the money display to the UI, get the new images. Looks pretty reasonable. Set up the script for it. Yeah, all right, pretty good. Add UI to show money. This is obscured by the upgrade dialog, which may be a tiny problem. All right, starting money. So we set this to 500 and export it. I'm just going to set it to 3 and not export it. This could then be a constant. Yeah. Private constant. Great. Then change this to the thing it wants me to rename it to. All right, looks good. So the portal upgrade being free, should the portal upgrade be free? And the answer is it doesn't matter because you can't get money until you get that upgrade. You can't get any other upgrades until you get money. And you can't buy more than a single treasure chest without getting money. So there's no way for you to get soft locked. At least not there. Afterward, you could get 4 gold and then spend it all. Although, wait a second. As long as you get at least 2 items from a treasure chest, would there ever be a problem? Yes. No, wait. Yes, because you could spend your money on something else that costs like 100 and then you'd have 0 things. So we eventually need to make it so that a treasure chest can be free or that you just like, I don't know, randomly get some money. Is there static noise coming from your mic when you talk? I wouldn't know. If anyone else hears anything, do let me know because I can look into it. But I don't think there should be anything happening on my end here. All right. Yeah. So doesn't need to be free. And when we get to the balance pass, we should say wooden chest should be 2 gold. And that is very annoying that it keeps retyping that. In fact, how about this? Let's just fix that particular couple of keys here. I'll clean these. I know this is probably gross. It's a bunch of like cat hair all over. I need to properly clean this. But I at least want to get the ones that are double typing now. All right, how's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Cool. Hey, Emmy. You can hear it too? So the room itself, it's definitely not producing it. The microphone, I don't have a different setup here at all. I mean, there is a computer fan, but it should be far enough away from the mic. How about this? Let me get my uptime right now, and let me write this down for maybe tomorrow. Where is my Tuesday afternoon stuff? Here it is. Okay, so at an uptime of about 1 hour, 11 minutes or so, Pickle mentioned that there was a static sound coming from my mic when I would talk. Is there anything else producing audio? No, nothing is. So it's just my mic. Huh. I can't think of what this would be. Because my mic is connected through USB. Nothing has changed with it. Okay, out of curiosity, is that any better? Testing 1, 2, 3. Is this clearer? Is there static sound? Do you hear anything? I'm just gonna keep talking for a second. I'm moving some stuff around on my desk. But yeah, is that any better? Still here. Okay. All right, well. Yeah, if it's not any better now, I don't think there's much I can do right this second, especially without being able to hear it. Although I think you can monitor mic input. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I don't want this to cause a feedback loop. I'm also not even sure how to do this. Enable monitoring. Okay, let me try muting this for a sec. Test, 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 test. Okay, I can hear myself now. So, do I hear this static? Test. No. I hear an echo. I think everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know what this is. And refreshing doesn't fix it, Pickle? It's only for some people. Oh, do you have a, what is that compressor thing? Better Twitch TV? Do you have sound compression turned on? It does sound strong. Deja vu. Just unplug the controller. Oh god, if it was that, that'd be nuts. Yeah, if you have any extensions, can you try watching without the extensions? Doesn't happen on other streams. Don't have any Twitch extensions. Okay. No Twitch extensions. Doesn't happen on other streams. Refreshing doesn't fix it. Ooh, weird. I don't hear it. I guess, I don't know. I know a couple other people are hearing it too, so it's very likely the stream somehow. I just don't know what could be introducing this, especially if I don't hear it from the like raw microphone output. I wonder if I could listen through Audacity. And I wonder if I like export this audio file, whatever I'm about to record, if you could then hear it. So recording device, let's set this to this one. This is a test. I am testing things. I want to hear if I hear static from my own microphone. This is a test. I am testing things. I want to hear if I hear static from my own microphone. Oh, I do hear a little bit of it, I think. This is a test. I am testing things. I want to hear if I hear static from my own microphone. Only toward the end here. Static from my own microphone. Huh. Big B lifter. No, I think I do hear it here. I have some filters set. Let me see if I can change that. I have these noise suppression, a transcription, tree band equalizer, limiter, compressor. I'm not clipping or anything. Yeah, I wonder if it's this. If I just turn this off, wait, no, hang on. This doesn't make any sense, right? These are only through OBS. It can't be any of these because I heard it through Audacity. Like from my own microphone. Yeah, I only hear it toward the end. Oh, weird. I don't know what could cause this all of a sudden, unless it's been happening all the time and it's only when you turn it like way up. Because, yeah, I don't. Okay, well, I could hear it a little bit when I put the audio in Audacity, which means it isn't coming from OBS plugins. So you're saying this never really happened before? So maybe it's just restarting my computer? Yeah. Just try restarting my own computer and see if that fixes it. Yeah, maybe that'll be it. All right, I'll ignore it for now. I think we spent a decent amount of time looking into that. All right, so we have changed how starting money works. Yep, change starting money. It used to be what, 500? And also used to be an exported variable. Now it's a constant 3. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so starting money done. I deleted this already, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, this bug I'll wait until later for. So the portal, I kind of want to do that now. So the way we do this is we need to manifest a new upgrade. It only has a single level that costs 1G. And getting it spawns a portal in town, which allows customers to enter your town. Now, the only reason we're doing this, the rationale behind having this be an upgrade, is that the player should be aware that there's a portal they created. Yeah, if you don't do this, the player won't know. If they could see it on screen, they would just take it and they'd leave. So this lets you know that you get one, but you don't see it. So you'll click here. There. Oh, I see. These get faded out when you can't afford them. Does it make a bonk sound? Yes. Yeah. So we have a portal here. You buy it. Now customers can enter your town. Okay. Can it expose constants in the inspector? I mean, it might be able to, but I think most of the time you expose something, you'd want it to be a variable. Yeah, yeah. I don't think actually, maybe they can't, because I don't think I've ever seen UI for that before. At least not a numerical constant. There are other things that maybe can't change based on other settings you have. I'm trying to even think of an example. I'm not sure though. Yeah. And hey, life's faded. I don't know if I said hi. Try to say hi to everybody. All right, so the problem that I have now is that I don't have a good icon for this. We have one that has a portal, but it has something coming out of the portal. Can we look through all these? I mean, I guess we can, but I think the easier way is probably doing this. And then how do we not have a terrible UI here? None. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this will kind of work. So yeah, we're looking for the portal one. I think it's something about instant loot. But I'm kind of looking to see, do we have any other ones that involve a portal? I don't think we do. Yeah, here it is. Instant loot. I think we use that for now. Yeah, I don't see anything else. And I think I asked Quickie Joe to just make it be a portal, maybe with like a person coming out of it or something. We could pretty much just combine the graphics we already have for other things. Do we have any other icons that we don't use? Why can't I see these SVGs? Oh, because they're white. No, we don't then. Okay, that's fine. We'll just take this in. Instant loot. Hey, Penguin. All right, so I'll write that in cleanup. Ask Quickie Joe to change instant loot.svg so that it's just a portal. Yeah. I think in terms of graphical changes, changing this so that there's no axe and there's no like little whatever that is, like the portal ejecting the axe from it, would be pretty simple. But I'm not an artist. All right, sprites. Did I split this up by sub game? Perks? Yeah, here we go. All right, so instant loot.svg. Let's go manifest more perk data. So we need a new perk ID to begin with. This is going to be like portal. Yeah, whatever. Portal. Sounds good. Let's put this here. Portal. Icon path is instant loot. What do we call this perk? Customer portal? Maybe. It started happening about 20 minutes ago. That roughly coincides with the break that I took. I don't know what would cause that though. Can you just change the design? Can you make it pop? I want those colors to pop. Yeah, this roughly coincides with the break that I took. What about taking a break would make that happen? I don't have the game running still, do I? No. Yeah, I do not know. All right, manifest a new upgrade. Only has a single level and costs 1 gold. Yeah, let's go figure out where that is. Perk button. Oh, cost is manifested here. But then the cost needs to have an array of upgrades, right? Table, percent bonuses. We don't need a bonus for this. We just need the table. Yeah. So we changed this. Perk ID dot portal. So this is literally just going to be a string, right? Yeah. So this should say something like, whoops. This should say something like creates a portal in town that allows customers to enter, customers to visit. How about that? Yeah. Yes, I like that. All right, but now we need a cost somewhere. There's only one cost originally. Oh, there's a level curve, right? Let's take a look inside the game. I haven't added this to the UI yet, so it's not going to be possible to buy this. Also, buying it won't do anything, but it will make our first functional upgrade here. I just want to see how the costs go up. 100 a piece. I need some money. Oh, also the money needs to be set at the beginning of the game correctly, and it's not right now. Bug, we need to update the money label at the very beginning of the game. That should be so simple that I don't even know why I wrote it down. I should just go change it right now. Starting money equals this. Then we get the money display up there. Yep. And we should just call set money instead of this. Set money. Money equals money return. Money equals money. Money changes. Yeah, set money. Starting money. We could do this after we've set it for everything. I don't think it's necessary. So now you should see a 3 there. I don't know why I picked up my controller again, because I can't do anything with free money. And we could make it so that you... Now let's just do this. Grant most things and then set one of these to like 9,000. And then just speed this up a bunch. There. So we got a bunch of money now. We must have had 3 of those items, which is quite the coincidence. Do the prices of these change? No, it's always 100 and this one's always 100. I don't like it. I do not like it. We're going to need to change that too. Need to allow for setting the price of each upgrade level for a perk. Right now, it's whatever cost we exported for each level. So it doesn't increase in cost as you buy them. So we got to go add in another upgrade over here. Let's go to loot boxes. It's not in the UI to begin with. I don't know why it's not in the UI to begin with. Yeah, maybe I'll put that in cleanup. Consider putting, what is that called? Perks dialog directly into the loot boxes UI in Godot so that we can see what it looks like without having to instantiate it through code. Well, we found it now. Now we're going to add in the portal one. We got to make sure that these are organized by cost as well. So what is this thing? It's a perk button. So let's go instantiate in another perk button and call this the portal perk button. Give this portal, set this to 1. And then we go through and instantiate them all. So now we should see this in the UI with the instant loot graphic. So when I go open this up, yep, nice. Customer portal creates a portal in town that allows customers to visit. It says it has a max level of 5. We've got to override that. All perk data. Portal. Max level :1. Yeah, nice. All right, now when you get it, I think it says something like you purchased or purchased the leveled up the perk. I don't remember where I put this. We'll just search for this. Where is it? I'll do it this way. Open and find window. Loot boxes. You leveled up perk. So here's where we need to branch based on what you got here. We got to create a portal. I've not set up any of this, have I? We should have the portal graphic as a standalone in the game already. So I just need to find out where that is. It is currently inside the farming game. So this one would be shared across games. And do we have a portal scene? We do, and it has a collision shape. So it's going to be pretty much, we just use that. Yeah. So we go instantiate in portal. This has something body entered. If body is farming player, yeah, that's a problem. I guess we also want to check to see if it's a loot boxes player. In which case this wouldn't be in the farming game at all. Yeah, we should move it. Move, what is that thing called? Portal to some kind of shared game folder. And then do this. If this, how do you do patterns? Can I do is loot boxes player? Oh man, I forgot how you do this. I think it'll suggest it if I do this. Yeah, just or. You don't need the is. Okay. There's no more static. It went away. I wonder what could cause it. Because I haven't done anything, right? We didn't enter another break. It only lasted for about half an hour. I didn't change anything, right? I wonder if the microphone itself is just breaking. It's probably like 11 or 12 years old. I don't know how long microphones are supposed to last, but that seems like longer than they probably should. It dragged my feet on the carpet. How long do microphones last? Oh, 30 to 40 years can be expected from a microphone. And what about condenser microphones? I don't know if there's any different. Cables usually die before the microphone. Atreus and AC17R. I think that when you launch the game through Godot debug. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't know what would cause that though, too. It's like Godot shouldn't have anything to do with the microphone. It would have something to do with speaker output. I don't think it's all in your head because other people commented on it too, and I think I heard it in Audacity. Huh. Well, at least it's not happening now. Guess we'll keep an eye on it. All right, so we have the portal. We have the script for the portal. We need to go put the portal in the game, but only when you upgrade this. Let's put it down here. So I'll just go make a portal position. Portal position. Let's go get that into loot boxes. Portal position. Node 2D. All right, so when you level up this thing, we got to go get the portal position and create a new node. So instantiate. Let's put that over here. Portal. Now we might need a little bit more than this. I don't know. We'll figure this out. And then where is the portal? Portal.tscn. It exists by default in the community center. We could just make it visible. I'd rather add it, I think. And then, yeah, once it exists, we make customers spawn out of it. So we do need to save this off. Yeah. Private portal question mark portal. So this starts as null. And the portal we get is from over here. And instead of... Where'd it go? Here. Instead of this, we set this like so. Instantiate it as a portal. And then figure out where this is supposed to live. Copy path. So you can't copy as a Godot path, I guess. That's fine. All right, so scenes, sub games, community center. Yeah, so this is incorrect right now. All right, so we got a portal. Now set the position. So we got to add child portal. And portal global position equals portal position. Portal reset physics interpolation. All right. The other way we could have done this is just add a portal node and add the portal underneath that. And yeah, I think that'd be fine too. It's maybe a little bit cleaner to do it that way. All right, well, let's try it out. So you have a customer in town anyway before you get the portal. So if I speed this up and we walk down there, there's nothing over here. If I go by the portal now we should see something down there. We do not. Oh, wait, there it is. So that's not the right position. Oh, because I never moved this down to the bottom. We want this like down here somewhere. All right, there, let's do that. You want to check it out? No, that's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll try to take a look at that tomorrow. All right, so no portal down here. We go get the upgrade. And now there's a portal. And nothing happens when you try entering it. We need to make that work. But you're getting Y sorted with it correctly, so that's nice. And customers should be too, but customers may never go down there. Do they? They can. I'm not going to wait for this. Yeah, this is going to take forever. Oh, no, they did. Okay, cool. That worked. Static is back is even worse. Now I hear it. Same. pretty bad. Okay, let me try something. This is a test. I want to see if I can hear static. This is a test. I want to see if I can hear static. This is a test. I want to see if I can hear static. Okay, yeah, I hear it. Let me close Discord. I don't think this probably has something to do with it. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? Yeah, there's still static. I don't know. I do not know. I always hate problems like this. Because what we know so far is it seems to be caused by something I'm doing while streaming that is innocuous and has probably been something I've done hundreds of times. Wiggle the wire again. I don't know if this is causing anything. I guess I did touch this, but like it's plugged in. It's been the same as how it's always been. Where's the other end? Where's this going? Okay, I can't see where it's going. I think it's going into the computer and not into the hub, but I'm not going to follow that wire. But I definitely didn't touch anything over there, especially if it's connected to my computer. Yeah, I'll have to look into this later. Hit you with the reversal C17R. How does it feel? Alright, so you should be able to enter the portal. Where did this go? So this is done. This is done. So allow for the player entering the portal to leave the game. And then the other thing we still need to do is allow for customers to enter your town only when you have the portal. And they should be able to leave town as well. So, I mean, I guess that's done. All right, so you should start with probably like, yeah, 2 customers. And yeah, I guess they should enter from the bottom of the screen. Should start with 2 customers, just like Skeleseller. So having the player enter the portal, this is presumably happening that we're emitting some signal, but we're never listening to it. Portal.player entered portal plus equal on player entered portal. Oh, right. We're supposed to spawn a dialogue or something that says, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because we don't want them leaving the game that quickly. Spawn a dialogue asking if they're sure they want to leave. What did I say about? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But for now, let's just act like they did leave. So in the community center, we have that portal. Community center portal. Portals. Oh, right. There were 2. And what does this do? Player entered portal. Sidekick moves over there. Sidekick entered portal. We fade out the sidekick and then call this. This fades out the whole screen after waiting a 1.5 seconds. All right, so we want probably something like that over here. Fade screen doesn't exist. Where art thou, fade screen? Show scene, fade from black. Do we have any fading happening right now? Only for items. So we don't fade in this game. I guess we don't zone between different areas. So all we want is fade out. So show is going to be false. So screen fade, fade to black. So we put this here. And that would have given us a tween. And then when it's finished, do this. So tween equals this. Yeah, maybe we call this fade tween. I don't know. All right, we don't have a screen fade though. Let's go get that. Not community center farming game, I think has it. Screen fade. Here we go. All right, so can we just copy paste this? Copy and you guessed it, paste. Wow. All right, let me fetch that. Screen fade. No 2D. So it's a screen transition. And we set this in here. And then that's it. All right, let's go try it. There is no, well, raise finish game. This exists, but nothing listens for this. And I think main's supposed to. Main.cs finished game. Finished? Advanced after subgame finished. I don't know where I do this. Subgame host maybe manages it. Finished game. Ah, yeah, here we go. On finished subgame. Okay, cool. So when you finish the... Oh, hey, look at that. Return a title screen requested. So yeah, it should just put us right back on the title screen. No overload for on-player entered portal matches delegate. The delegate takes in a thing. It does. What is the thing? It takes in a portal. Okay. I don't need that. So we just try walking over to where the portal is. It's not going to let us enter or anything. Yeah. But then we go get this and walk over there now. And it should put us on the title screen. I'm going to play audio. No, well. Okay, it worked. It doesn't fade out the player. So it should play a sound and it should stop the player from moving. Hey, Dirt. No, but thank you for asking. I'm sorry, I generally don't, like, if someone's like brand new in chat and they're promoting their game or asking for feedback about their game, I generally don't follow those requests. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you asking. And if you want to stick around the stream, welcome in. I think a lot of people do this as like latent marketing, and then they end up talking about their game and, you know, never staying part of the community or anything. And it's just, yeah, it's not something I want to encourage. Okay. So we fade to black here. We don't play the sound. Where does that happen over in the farming game? Oh, I guess it's when the player enters the portal. Because there's a player entering and then the sidekick entering. Where is that? Here it is. Set player input enabled false. We fade out the player and we play a sound. Yeah, let's go do all that. So what? Player.fade out. Sounds good. Set player input enabled. This is not something we have right here. So let's go to lootbox player. Do we have an input enabled thing? Is control locked? Yeah, what makes you control locked? Set control locked. Nice. Player set control lock true. And then play the sound. Yeah, let's go try it. Should be pretty good. All right, we need sounds on. So let's turn this on. Now we just walk into the portal and it should play the sound and stop our input. Ooh. Yeah, neat. Very neat. All right, so this is done. This is done. And this is done. Okay, so there is a trailing comma that was added there. We added in the portal perk. What changed there? Why is it highlighted? Customer speed is the same. Oh, because of the diff formatting portal above it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We have the description there. No translate call yet. I'm going to need that eventually. The trailing comma. Thanks, David. Yeah. Yeah, these are feeling pretty good. All right, this is all fine. Let's look at the next file. Portal, screen fade, set money. This technically fixes a different issue. We should check this on its own. So set starting money in UI. we didn't we hadn't updated the money label before this. So it wouldn't reflect what we gave you in the game, what we started you with. All right, there we go. Hey, Cristal. And thanks. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. I every once in a while, if something's like not obvious and I'm doing, I'll try to explain. But otherwise, yeah, if people are just lurking, I'll just do my work the way that's best for me. But yeah, I don't ever mind clarifying why I'm doing something the way I'm doing or what I think is best for doing it. Okay, so this is one of those instances. There are cases where, like, the means of making this game as being a collection of sub games is that each sub game just needs to work. Once it does, we don't really build on it. And that's the nature of this game. It's like making WarioWare. I didn't play the WarioWare games, but my understanding is there's a bunch of micro games. Yeah, micro games. And I'm not really familiar with a lot of them, but like, okay, here's one. Looks like Wario's running from something and there's some garlic bulbs at the bottom. Like, this is probably the entirety of this game, whatever they're doing. You press some buttons or something and you use garlic bulbs and you run from these characters. And yeah, maybe that took them, whatever, a couple weeks to make. And the player plays it for like 3 seconds. You don't ever need to come back to that game and do something about it. So if you do have some tech debt there, you'll never need to pay it off. But in a lot of games, this is the whole game. It's some endless runner, and you've got upgrades and power-ups and enemies and obstacles. And yeah, what you're building now, you're still going to be touching a year from now. So all that is to say, this is a terrible means of doing things if we were maintaining this game and having like 100 upgrades. But it's fine if we have, 8 upgrades. It's okay. Now, with that said, we should probably export this to its own function at least. Yeah, so like private void create portal. And put all this stuff in there. And that'll at least look a little bit cleaner. So our dispatch should just be an if and then a function call and an if and a function call. Games literally last 3 to 10 seconds. Yeah. Hey, Luna. Yeah, the games in Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, what I want the average time to be is somewhere in the 5 to 10 minute range. Now, the very first game, which is a platformer, is probably like 90 seconds. And then I guess you land in the Architect's Realm and you're there for another maybe like 30 seconds. So that one's 2 minutes long, if you consider that all to be one game. The farming game is much more likely to be in the 5 to 10 minute range already. A top-down shooter, I haven't balanced yet, but that I think is going to be 5 to 10 minutes. The loot boxes game is a little bit weird because you can leave after like 10 seconds, but most players will probably beat the game, and that may take like 5 minutes. So yeah, I don't want this to get boring for people, but at the end of this, it's like, okay, I've spent 3 months on a game that is now 20 minutes long. If I want to develop my own app, what language should I be trying to learn? So I'd say part of it depends on like what platform is the app for, or what platforms, which platform. And yeah, like what are you looking to do? So for example, if you're trying to make a game, I'd say you probably just learn a game engine and trust that the engine can produce the apps that you want to make. Mobile, so Apple and Android fitness app. Yeah, so fitness app style thing. There are some like cross-platform mobile technologies. I think Flutter was one of them. I don't know if it's still a thing, but mobile dev. It probably is. Where's the official? Yeah, build apps for any screen. So I believe this is for, Android, iOS. They show Google logos on here. Wait, what? Is this not for iOS? Huh. Anyway, I was going to say whatever they end up using here. Oh, yeah, Flutter on iOS. Here we go. What is this? Yeah, same general thing. Yeah, so I would look into something like this. In general, for a lot of multi-platform apps that you want to make, you don't want to be coding in a specific language for each one because it's just more work for you. And if you had like some mega team maintaining each individual app and you needed some like Android specific features in this and iOS specific features in this, but probably you're just going to have, you know, a UI. And yeah. So I think looking into something like this or an equivalent. Yeah. And I don't know much about this, so I can't say how this works or yeah. But in general, a lot of languages that you end up learning, I don't think it'll be the last language you learn. It might not be your favorite language. It might be something you just use for this technology. So whatever kind of gets your current project done, I'd say is, if it works, it works. Use Expo, actually use Unity to make a business app. Yeah, and that's another thing too. You could use a game engine to make just a regular app. Although probably at that point the UI does not match the user's expectations unless it is a gamified app. Because yeah, there are a lot of native widgets you'd expect on either mobile OS, major mobile OS. All right, so wait, where did I leave off of this? Oh yeah, I was reviewing code and then I got caught up on this function being bad. So spawn a dialogue asking if they want to make sure. This is already on my to-do list, so I don't think we need this here. Where is that? I wrote it somewhere. I don't know where it is now. No, that's strange. Ah, here it is. It should ask if you're sure and offer you free loot boxes instead. Yeah. So we're not going to do that now. We're going to delete the to-do item. So this is just like a yes, I'm sure I'm definitely leaving. And that is fine for now. Let's go into the next bit. This is all good. This is good. This is good. This is the button being added to the UI. And this modifies this aspect. I should probably go change this now. So let's do this. Add portal upgrade. There is now a perk for you to get a portal in town. It allows you to leave. It is not currently a prereq for customers to be able to enter your town, but it will be. All right, so a couple things we want to do here. And they're both over here somewhere. There, yeah. So allow for customers to enter your town only when you have the portal. They should also be able to leave town. And I started working on this. Where is this? Yeah, I'm going to just use AI for this part because I think we've got most of this already set up. Let's set this extra high. So customers have a chance of leaving town in the loot boxes game. Customers have a chance of leaving town at any given time. Customers should enter and leave town according to some rules. So at any given point, only a maximum of X customers can be in town. X should start at 2 and be, well, yeah, X should start at 2 and will eventually be upgradable by the player. But that part is out of scope for this change. Customers have a chance of leaving town at any given time. It starts at 1%. After reaching a destination or buying an item, they'll check whether they'll leave town using percent chance. Every time they fail this check. Yeah. If percent chance returns true, they should navigate to the portal and then leave. Leaving. Yeah. Leaving involves baiting them out and then Q freeing them. If the town is not at the maximum number of customers, then every 1 second, a percent chance. No, we have another thing here, don't we? Like random extensions? Next bool. Yeah. Although this doesn't allow for many customers to enter at once. How do I want this to work? Because in Scala Seller, it's like they walked out of your town and then they were gone for a little bit and then they came back. I don't think the point here is to make customers like take all that long outside of your town. Yeah, how about this? So after yeah, when the town is not at the current customers in town is not at the maximum, add a customer back in. Customers spawn at the portal. This should only happen every... Adding a new customer should happen on a random timer of 1 to 5 seconds. How about that? Yeah, let's just do that. All right, so what else have I not said here? Oh, yeah. Customers cannot enter town until... I should start at 0. How about this? Building the portal should set X to 2. After that, the player will eventually be able to upgrade X. Yeah. Through perks. No need to add the perk yet. Although, really, why not? Why not have it add the perk? Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's go find the number of customers. Customer speed. Would you add num customers? I don't remember what the icon was called. All right, I'll find it through here. All icon data. Customer speed. Max customers. Here we go. Max customers SVG. Max customers. Yep. Gotcha. Okay, put you over here. Add a perk using max customers.svg as the icon that will let the player upgrade how many customers are in town. It should go up by 2 every level to a maximum of... Actually, no, it shouldn't. It should... The number of customers per level should be 2, 4, 7, 11, 16. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Or anything else? Is there something else I wanted to do? Oh yeah, stop there from being a customer in town to begin with. Delete. All right, so we should only have 2 changes here, right? This scene and then 2 new files that we added. Is there anything I have not said here? Only maximum X customers can be in town. X should start at 0. Building the portal. Getting the portal perk should set X to 2. After that, the player will eventually be able to upgrade X through a perk. See below. Customers have a chance of, I guess, just this, whatever. All right, where did this got messed up? Customers have a chance of leaving town at any given time. Chance starts at 1%. Reaching a destination, buying an item, they'll check whether they should leave town. If it returns true, they should navigate. If it returns false, then the 1% should rise to 2%. Leaving involves fading them out. So when a customer reaches the portal with the intent to leave, they should fade out and then be queue freed. When the number of customers in town is not at the maximum, add a customer back in. Customer spawn at the portal. The addition of a new customer should happen on a random timer of 1 to 5 seconds. So we're back at the maximum. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's go try that. We'll enter plan mode here. Delete. All right, so this is what we're doing now. So this stuff's all pretty much done. And this is what we want now, yeah. Just once to 2% or raising by 1% each time? Yeah, I didn't make that clear. It should raise by 1% each time. But if it doesn't code it that way, I'll just do that. But yeah, the way I stated this, it might not know to just keep increasing it. So make sure, or like, allow customers to enter and leave town and add a perk for making a higher maximum. And the chance to leave town should keep going up by 1% at a time. In fact, actually, the AI might be smart enough to know that I might have meant that and then ask me about it. Usually in planning it out, it kind of figures out those edge cases. And in terms of quota, it just reset today. We're at 74% remaining until noon. I can only probably stream until noon anyway. So I don't know if I'll be using more of this the rest of the week. But yeah, while that's working, I want to look through the rest of this list. So kick off another task, look through this list. Yeah. Don't need anything else there. Wednesday, figure out new sub games. Okay, so we got the list planned for this week. This is already in pretty good shape. So I want to open this up and trigger my journal entry. Running script. This thing takes a very long time. And I think it's just like Google Cloud Functions needing to spin up an action runner for this. So worked on the loot box game, could only stream. Well, I'm not done yet. I'm just writing this down now. Only stream for a half a day due to a wedding function for a friend, just to be clear. I've been married for a while. And what else? No, that's pretty much it. You can give me the rest of the tokens. It's fine. I find that the $20 a month plan is pretty generous. How should this map to max? Baseline +4. Portal unlocks level 0 baseline of 2. Portal sets the cap to 2. Then 5 purchases use a listed value, making the first purchase remain at 2. No. Treat the list as 5 upgrades, requiring a 6th final value beyond... What? I don't understand any of this. But I also don't totally understand where... We had some upgrades here. Level curve. Where is it? Oops. Level curve. Here, customer speed % bonuses. That first one's 0. So like, I guess it's this. Yeah, portal unlocks a baseline of 2, then 4 purchases raises the that. Okay. Should the max customers perk be purchasable before the portal perk? We could lock it, but actually the amount of money you have is going to naturally lock this because you can't go up in money until you sell this. Oh, and then grant most things needs to change. Okay, I gotta finish this. Let me snooze the ad for right now. So grant most things should give you the portal, the portal perk. If it's also going to give you customers, it should probably operate just by granting perks, not by setting the maximum number of customers directly. Levels can be bought early while the effective cap stays 0. So the game will limit this naturally by not giving enough money to get the max customers perk until unlocking the portal perk. So this shouldn't matter. Yeah. I want this to finish the plan. I'll review the plan, then I can take my break. It's naturally my break time anyway, which that's part of why I timed this with kicking off something with AI, because this will typically take like 10 minutes to code something. So if I'm away for 4 of those minutes, then nothing's lost. Yeah, and then what else could we get done? Max customers, we'd be done with here. Item stands and treasure stands, I definitely want to do. Customer speed, yeah, it should be pretty easy. Auto opening chest, I don't know about. Do you have a reason to get multiple treasure stands? I guess just a batch operations. You probably want to automate part of this stuff. Whoa, what? Was it reading? That's strange. Oh, it's writing the plan now. I did not expect it to take this long. Okay, so it's done. I don't see the plan. There it is. How do I close this? There. All right, I like looking at it through here just because it's a little easier. At a portal-driven customer population system with strict capacity, incremental departures, timed replacements, and a 4-level max customer perk, add this metadata name max customer using that fixed cost of 100, level 0 to 4 map to this, totally fine. Show perk and perks dialog. Its tooltip table displays a customer limit at each level. Drive effective capacity adds 0 without portal, and for the max customers curve once portal is owned, do not add an explicit portal prerequisite because the game provides that. Preserve the existing removal of scene authored customer. Yep, that's what I just did. Give loot boxes one-shot spawn timer. Whenever capacity exceeds live customer count, wait a fresh random 1 to 5 seconds. Spawn 1 customer, repeat until full. Sounds good. Count leaving and fading customers until they are freed. Recheck capacity on every timer callback and schedule replacements after customer tree exit, preventing parallel timers or cap overshoot. Extend customer init with a portal destination and add leaving town to its stay machine. That's fine. With the portal destination, yeah, the parent could do this too. It doesn't really matter. Each customer starts with a 1% leave chance after... Oh, nice. It adds 1% up to 1. Yeah. So it already figured out what I intended for this, which is kind of cool. On reaching the portal, stop movement, fade out over 0.5 seconds using the existing canvas fade helper. I hope it's interpreting this correctly. It sounds like it might be. And then keep failed and preempted shopping attempts on the existing return to wandering path without a departure check. Update grant most things so it unlocks port. Oh, wow. Nice. I didn't even tell it to do this. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. And yeah, rest of this sounds fine. So I will go take my break. Let's kick this off. It's 71% before the implementation. And let's close all these other tabs. There we go. All right. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello, hello. Close the game. All right, where did this leave off? It still says it's 71%. That can't be possible. Yeah, no, it's a 62%. This just doesn't update that frequently, I guess. Oh man, I thought the whole point of status is that this would be kept up to date. It's probably going to update at some point, but yeah, it apparently does not update on the fly. Or at least not this part. Maybe the context is updating. I don't know. Hey, Vibe, how you doing? Only lost because of my ankle sprain. My character can't jump that high. Volleyball-induced trauma. Sidebar on the left updates more frequently. Yeah, I end up just using this site. It's on my homepage, so it's pretty quick to get to. I'm just curious about this too. It's rarely that I'm like, oh my god, I'm at 12% remaining. I gotta use this wisely. It's never like that. Yeah. Well, anyway. Oh, wait, no. I was about to say anyway, but it looks like it just got done. Implemented loot boxes, customer population and departures, time capacity save, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. Let's just go try this out and see what happens. So we are starting to get some actual gameplay here. We have almost closed the loop on this. So as of this morning, we now have the money display at the upper left. There are no customers. I'm going to speed this up. I'm also going to turn that way down. Jeez, it's so loud. Okay, so there's no portal in town. There are no customers anywhere. Nothing's happening. We can't do anything. We can only interact with the treasure spirit and buy wooden chests, which doesn't actually take your money, which now that I don't know if we should keep that in. That was intentional. This is supposed to be a broken tutorial. But I don't know if that's fun. Anyway, we go by the portal, which is the only thing we can afford. And now we should have 2 customers in town. Yes. Now when we get items, they will go buy those items. Now I have a lot of money. We can afford more things. Customer speed is there twice? Did I never notice that? Now we have 4 customers? Yes, we do. Do they leave town eventually? They should. Might take a while. Yep, there goes one. They come back. Well, they're a different customer now. There goes another one. Nope, they did not leave. So if it stayed at 1%, the magic number is after I think 60 tries, there is a very like a high likelihood that a 1% chance would have happened. But it's going up to 2% and 3% and then 4%. So at any given time, when they stop, like this one, yeah, I was going to say that one's probably up to like a 20% chance of leaving. So it should probably go by like 2% at a time. So customers aren't just staying around forever. Anyway, pretty neat. So now we should have 16 customers. They're going to slowly stream out of the portal. And as others leave, they won't get populated back any faster. Now they can look the same. So you do see duplicates of customers in town, like the one with the white hair up there. Well, white is blue. That's okay. I don't think that's a problem. We could make them so that they're all unique. Yeah. This is looking good. Very cool. They just go and buy items practically immediately. I don't know, maybe balancing this game is going to be too much effort. Or just the max customer upgrade should cost quite a lot. Yeah, I'm uniquely prepared for this. Yeah, we have practically all the graphics and sounds, and there's very little we need to do in terms of extra work there. One is that we do need a slightly different graphic here. This is a portal with an axe coming out of it. We need it to just be a portal, or a portal with a customer coming out of it. And then the main character needs to be themed to look like the main character from the other games. So like this character. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, so features-wise, that is working perfectly. Code-wise, let's go take a look. This is exactly what I would expect. This is fine. That's good. That's fine. Increases the maximum number of customers who can be in town at once. Let's use the same description from Skeleseller. Which, why is this frozen? Customer max. Town perk max customers here. What did we say here? Make your town more appealing, causing more customers to visit. Okay, never mind. I don't think we can use that. Yeah, I think just this is probably good. Increases the maximum number of customers who can be in town at once. Yeah, sounds good. So wait, we have some other upgrade here, don't we? More treasure stands. Yeah, something's wrong with that. Where is that? Here it is. Yeah. Oh, I see. It's got the wrong icon or whatever. Wrong ID. It's not functional anyway, but that at least explains why that had happened. All right, all this is fine. Let's go to the next one. Starting leave chance increase, leave fade duration seconds. Yeah, that's all fine. Starting leave chance, portal global position. This is odd. This is very odd. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like that at all. What is it even used for? Portal global position. Start leaving town. Oh, to know where to go. Oh, not where they start. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So the stage is leaving town, return. Let's pick a new target. Stop moving. Complete leaving town. Yeah, so check the leave chance. Either start or increase it up to 100%. Sounds good. Maybe we want them to leave more frequently. I don't know. We need customers to just seem like the Skeleseller customers. Like mindless consumeristic robots. All right, get portal position, yeah. As target, complete leaving town. Avoidance, fade. Yeah, this is good. Yep, all that's fine. Cheap max customers perk level equals 3. This only kind of works. I bet this is broken in terms of the UI. So I have a cheat that says grant most things. It does not work here. So max customers is level 3. Oh, I know it does work. Wow. Wow. That's something. All right, cool. Well, this is way faster than I would have coded this. Now we no longer need to initialize customers with a nav match because there are, what, 2 places we initialize customers now? 3 places. And existing customers. Why do we add new ones like this? On customer spawn timer. And existing. There are no existing ones. We delete this then. Yeah, I don't think this can ever cause a problem. The only way is if the navigation map took like 10 seconds to bake. And I don't know if that's possible. Maybe we have a loading screen and just check to see for nav map being ready. But yeah, there are no existing customers, so I'm going to delete this. And I'll write this down over here somewhere. We have a loading screen. Where is that? Loading screens here. Yeah. We need to make sure the loot box's nav map has finished baking before we consider the game to be done loading. In practice, this should never be a problem. But if it did take a while, then perhaps customers wouldn't get initialized correctly and would end up with weird paths. Most race conditions of this type are like, oh, a few frames passed and we should have done it a little sooner, and not, oh, 10 seconds passed. So I don't ever see it being a problem, but it could be. So what is this file? Loot boxes. So that's all done. Customer spawn timer. So we spawn this no matter what. Timeout, add child. It's one shot. I don't know why it's a one shot timer. I guess we could just always have it run over and over. And just, if we're not the max, then fine. By making it a one shot timer, it means that we need to restart it at some point. We'd restart it when a customer leaves town. Then we'd check 1 to 5 seconds later if we should add a new customer. And if that's the behavior you want, then fine. But I don't really care. I think I'd opt for code readability over waiting an extra like few seconds. Both are fine though. It doesn't really matter. So init customer, get max customer count. Get perk level, portal equals 0, otherwise 0. They have that. Sounds good. Get customer count. It's just get the number of children here. We don't really need to do this. We could just say customers.get child count, because we know we're only ever adding customers there. So that's one simplification. This is a call into native code though. So another simplification is just to keep track of it ourselves, but I don't care to that level. I think it's fine. Refresh customer spawn timer. If we haven't initialized customers and it's not inside the tree. So has initialized is set to true. We don't actually need to initialize customers anymore. Yeah, this is kind of stupid. Let's go take a look. Customer exiting tree. Interesting. Try purchase perk. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like this. We don't... Wait, we do restart this timer. And in essence, this isn't one shot anymore. No, we stop the timer here. What starts it again? Only this code? Yeah, so we've got to call refresh customer spawn timer, which only happens from a few places. Navigation map is ready, which is insufficient. And customer spawn timer timeout, which is not going to get called if this thing is no longer running. And when a customer finally leaves. Okay, this is important. Yeah, this part's fine. So then we don't need the initial call here. But this is for spawning them. You upgrade the perk. All right, I don't think we need this anymore. On navigation map ready. So we delete this. And put this in that loading node I just wrote down. Like add function here to indicate loading is done. We have a problem. Refresh customer spawn timer. It's on by default, right? We need to do this as soon as you get the portal timer too. Yeah, create portal should do this. All right, now I don't think we have a problem anymore. I'll test it out. Oh no, it says right here, if it's portal or max customers, refresh it. Oh wow. AI is one step ahead of me. Okay, yeah, I think everything's fine. Yeah. So has initialized customers is no longer needed. Has initialized customers. If it's not inside the tree, I don't think this matters. Oh. Okay. All right, let's go test it. And I haven't finished reviewing everything yet, right? No, we have a couple of these things are broken. Ensure cheat minimum customer count. This is not a good idea. Yeah, this is not a good idea. There. Now it has initialized. Get cheat customer spawn point. Yeah, we want to do this. Wait, we don't even use this function anymore, do we? No, we don't. Delete that. All right, so now what? Perk ID. Yeah, I think everything else is good. All right, let's try it. So there should be no customers. There should be no portal. We have 3 gold. So let's go. Wait, let's get a treasure chest and some items first. Let's give ourselves a bunch of money from this. We'll set them all to 1,000 and something. There. 1,001, 1,002. Now we'll get the portal perk. That should spawn 2 customers. They go and buy items. They should eventually leave town. This might take a while. Speed it up even more. So far, no, but they should be at like a 10% chance to leave every single time they stop. Maybe now like a 13%. There, that one left. New one comes back. Same look, so it's going to be harder to track that that one has been there for a while. It just left. Okay, cool. So they're respecting the number of customers and leaving town. Let's now go upgrade the maximum number of customers to 4. So now I just want 1 to leave. Yeah, nice. At least 2 left. That's good. All right, yeah, everything looks like it's working. Wow. Making items sell for more. I don't know if we need to do that. I think we just need to change how much loot is in each chest. All right, nice. So what should we call this as our commit message? Actually, let's not. Let's just click this button. Introduce a max customers perk that increases the maximum number of customers. Customers now leave town after completing activities. Add necessary UI, perk data, tooltip description. I would never say that. Also handled spawning customers and making them leave town. Cool. And that should have taken like a couple of pennies. Yeah, it took 3 cents for me to make that commit message. It's so funny to me because that's not worth 3 cents in my mind. Now, granted, I didn't pay for these credits. These are just given to me. But like, I wouldn't have done that if that had really cost me 3 cents. I would have just written out the commit message. Illusionary Moon, thanks for subbing. Welcome in. And hey, Sean. I mean, it did save me some time. And actually, it probably did save 3 cents worth of time. So from that point of view, it would be worth it. But it just feels wrong to me. I think this is something kind of interesting about AI plans. They've almost all converged on this idea of like, well, there's a 5-hour limit, there's a weekly limit, and there's a monthly spend. Hang on one second, I need to cough. Oh boy. Okay. Excuse me. It's hard to figure out if you're spending $20 a month and you do a query that gives you 12% of your like 5-hour limit, like how much was that worth? How much did it cost? You don't really know the answers to these things because there's no like hard amount of, hey, you bought 100 tokens and this used 1 token or something. It's like, yeah, you have a limit, and like the only thing I can see in the UI is this. I have a percentage here, I have a percentage here, and I have a reset time that gets modified very frequently. So it says it's going to reset on July 6th, but what are the odds it makes it to July 6th? And history will show that it's actually going to be like July 4th or 5th. So you actually get like 5 weeks out of every month instead of 4 weeks. And yeah, it's just hard to figure out what that all means. Now, with that said, I don't think you need to. This is not like, oh my God, I'm spending $40,000. I need to track how that money is being spent. $20 a month is not typically like break the bank level for most developers. And your work is probably more valuable than $20 a month. Like if I was making $240 a year, I would not be spending 20 of it on on AI, or else I'd make $0 a year. Hello, streamer. Hello, viewer. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Could also just spend per token. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Although that's almost certainly more expensive than these plans that they have, because they do subsidize the cost somehow. It's just hard to know how much. And even the amounts here, like how much of your 5 hour limit you have to use 10% of your weekly limit. And I think the rate is like every 5 hour window is roughly 14% of the weekly limit. So you get like 7 5 hour windows per week, which means you get roughly probably like 30 of those per month, but not really because of how they change the reset times. So like each 5 hour window is costing you like 66 cents, I guess, which is kind of crazy when you consider that commit was like 3 cents. Because in the 5 hour window, I could code like several features. Hey, Strudel. Now the Chinese models, open code Go is a killer deal, but you don't get the frontier models. Yeah. Yeah. Do I reach my 5 hour limit? Not often, no. And there's this effect that I've been talking about where I look at these, and being a penny pincher, I'm like, I got to get these numbers down to 0 every week. Well, this number down to 0 every week. So it causes me to work off stream sometimes when I'd rather be relaxing, but it does increase the quality of the product, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, I could pay exactly per token. No, that would make me feel worse, I think, because I know I'm overpaying. It's just, I'm trying to think, like, how many businesses make it hard for you to tell how much something actually costs? Like a gym subscription is maybe the same way, depending on how you look at it, I guess. It's much more obvious what you get access to, which is generally just the entirety of the hours that the gym is open. So it's like, well, if you go for half an hour a day, then yeah, you know exactly what you're using it for. But then, yeah, I guess you have to figure out like, well, how much did each machine cost, and like, what would it cost for you to get that? And I don't know. My greatest weakness is I work too much. No, so I work too well, and then I'm too handsome. Those are my greatest weaknesses. They're combined into one. I do not actually think this way, by the way. I think if I were to be honest about like what are my actual weaknesses, let me think. I think I want control over my work, which means I don't work well at companies. And what else? I'm trying to think what's bitten me in the past. I think it's that I lack certain skill sets entirely. Like I can't do artwork. I think that is a weakness as a game dev. I think you need to have like some artistic ability. I should probably develop that. Too handsome. I forgot your song. Oh yes, yes. Highest humility rating. Can't forget that one. Hey Ramu. Personality was too shiny. People have to cover their eyes when they see me. I'm like, oh no. What should I work on next? I don't have too long left. Yeah, I don't have a very long amount of time, because I got to get lunch and then like prep for the wedding. I got to figure out what I'm wearing. The dress code seems to have changed several times. All right, so this is done, right? Yeah. This is done. Code the other upgrade. So this one's finished. Customer speed. Let's go get that one done. It's a Raimu in the wild. Throw a Pokeball at him. All right, so the customer speed perk exists in the code, but doesn't actually do anything yet. Make it increase the customer speed by 20% per level. Yeah. I'll just have this run. I don't even need to plan it. Who cares? And we're at 59% usage. Yeah. 59% before adding customer speed. Then we get more treasure stands and stuff. I do think devoting Wednesday to game design would be good. I really want to be mindful of the overall calendar of the checkpoint system that I have, because at some point, probably July 6th, we should be starting the next sub game. But I don't think I want the next sub game to be some like super advanced game that I already been planning. So I think we change it up a bit. It was going to be the Dungeon Racer game, which I still think sounds cool, but I don't think that's a fast game to make. Yeah, the idea was we use this asset pack and you're running through a dungeon and there are all these traps and other racers. And yeah, that sounds like the kind of game that would take like 3 weeks to make, maybe 2 weeks to make. And I don't think I want to spend that long. Add 1 through 5 through 1 through 5 through 1 through 5 through 1. Yeah, I think this would be very neat. I want to get this asset pack for sure. I really like the animations. I also really like the door and the crate animations. Look at how the door opens over here. They use this like really wavy effect. Can I screenshot that? Nope, I can't capture that. There we go. Yeah, there's like this little bubble on the door. Very neat. And the crates were down here. These also look pretty cool. Lots of style, yeah. And this reminds me of A Link to the Past, even though it doesn't look that similar to it. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty juiced. Yeah, I think we'll make some other little AI changes here. Like I said, I think game design on Wednesday. Figure out what the next sub game should be. Figure out some of the story points too. I don't know. There's a lot to do. This is where I keep thinking, like, if you plan a project, whatever your project may be in any realm, like let's say you're going to make World of Warcraft, or let's say you're going to knit a sweater, like by the time you're done, you could look back and see how many hours did it take. If you could know that many hours ahead of time, like if you were like, I'm going to make World of Warcraft, and as soon as you say that, a counter appears and it's like that many hours. I just made up a number, right? I don't know how many it would actually take. Would you be more or less likely to do the project? I mean, if you saw that number, you might not be likely to do it. But if you were like, oh, my game project that I'm going to work on, it's going to take, let's figure out how many hours do you actually work a year? Like 2,000 hours per year. So if you saw that something was going to take you 3,402 hours, are you gonna be like, okay, that's like a year and a half. Yeah, we could do that. Or you gonna be like, oh my god, that's way too much. Plan an MVP in the next 100 hours and see how it goes. Well, yeah, I know you would break down a task and you wouldn't just look at it this way, but let's say you could look at it this way. Let's say every minute you see me streaming, we're just counting down until the literal exact moment that this game's going to launch. And it is without a doubt accurate. Some Black Mirror episode kind of thing. Like, I wonder if that would make people more likely to do long-term projects or not. Because honestly, I'm seeing a lot of, I've talked about this before, but there are a lot of video game challenges out there. There are things like the Iron Man, RuneScape challenge. These sorts of things are nuts. There's the Iron Mon and Pokemon. There are all sorts of like do things without taking damage. Why is this not working? Pokemon. There we go. It's supposed to put the accent on the E for me. Yeah, anyway. Like these are in essence just like you put a lot of time into them and maybe there's some skill involved for some of them, but people love doing those. What if that's how your game projects worked? All right, so grant most things does not give you money, which is a little bit unfortunate because sometimes I just want to test this really quickly, which we could do by setting this. So I'm going to change the time scale. They're going to eventually buy that fire rod there. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we have enough money to increase their speed. So let's go try this out. So we're going to increase it once. They're now apparently moving 20% faster. Increase it again. This is 40% faster. I really can't tell. This is 60% faster. I think they're moving faster. This is 80%. And this is 100%. So now they're moving faster than I am for sure. Problem is in this game, customer speed doesn't really matter that much. Although it doesn't matter. It could just be kind of funny that their upgrades don't really do anything. Yeah. But I think more likely would be like customer purchase power or something. Yeah, maybe they only spawn in with so much money and there's more of a mini game around that. Knowing that then I wouldn't have started it. Yeah. Yeah. I'd be a billionaire. I'd start a consulting service that lets people know exactly how long their project will take. Yeah, I mean this is wizardry, right? You yeah, if you have an injury or something and it slows you down or your efficiency decreases or something. So that's why I was saying like if you somehow knew for sure. And I do think it would steer my decisions if I was like, okay, well, if I do this sub game and I see the counter increase, or if I do this sub game and I see it decrease, yeah, it might change things. Because that's kind of what you're doing anyway, right? You're estimating how long something's going to take you and then weighing the pros and cons of going down that route. All right, so when we get to the balancing phase, we got to write this down. We need to figure out what the most fun incarnation of upgrades would be. Like increasing customer speed when there isn't a lot of travel kind of makes no sense. I think increasing their propensity to buy would be better. And even then, do you need it? Like, aren't both of those upgrades overshadowed by the number of customers you have in town? Hey, Goose. Let's see this Gus picture. No, it's not letting me see the picture. Oh, there we go. Wait, no, there we don't go. Got it. Did Gus get to have any of this? Because this looks pretty good. This gelato with some kind of like wafer cookie. Do I have a new? He got some too. Okay, good. Do I have a new Abby photo to share with you? Oh, I bought a cat bed that is attached to my desk, and I have a picture of her in it with a Botland photo in the background. Yeah. So she only sat in it because of this that you see on top of it. This is a heating pad. And without it, she would not go in this bed. And then the next day, I tried to get her back into it, and she did not care. She's like, no heating pad, not going to sit there. So I think I got to buy a heating pad now, too. All right, so do we even check this in? Because, yeah, I think this is kind of dumb. Customer speed multiplier. We have parentheses around that aren't needed. Base walk speed is 40. Underscore walk speed, base walk speed. And then we just change it whenever this happens. Set speed multiplier. This seems pretty stupid. Yeah, this whole upgrade just seems dumb. I mean, the code seems fine. But there's just no point in having, like, customers can walk at light speed. It doesn't matter. It's how often do they buy items? Do I think we make them walk like snails to begin with? Oh my god. But that would make you walk around yourself and then figure out what's going on. I don't know. I don't think we can just slow down customers to begin with. Or else the player will get antsy and explore town and find the portal. Children type customer set speed multiply. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine. All right. Well, make customer speed perk functional. You thought you could trick me? How hot is Seattle? I mean, Seattle is very cool right now. I just went on a walk this morning and it is 58 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 14 Celsius. Yeah, no, it's very, very pleasant and cool over here. Also, Goose, do try not to segment. I have very, very few rules in this chat. There's the obvious, don't be a jerk sorts of things, but then there's the non-obvious, don't segment your messages. All right, so do we have enough time to do like one more change? Maybe we do. So customer speed is done. Shiny loot doesn't really make any sense. Items sell for more. Maybe it's like customers are willing to pay more. Are willing to pay more for each item. So this just expands the rate that they'll pay. So each item has a value. Let's say it's 50 gold. By default, customers should probably be willing to pay anything up to the value. And then this upgrade would make it so they would pay beyond the value, maybe like 10% per level. So you could eventually go 50% over. So that 50 gold item would be worth 75 gold. I don't think you'd feel this upgrade though. I don't think this would work this way. I almost think it should be framed as customers will tip for X% of the value. And this goes up to, like 10%, 20%, whatever, 30%. And that way you don't need to change prices. Yeah. So if you were happy getting 10 gold for something, well, now you get 11 gold for that thing. As opposed to you were happy getting 10 gold and now you need to be like, wait, did I already update this price before getting this upgrade? Yeah, I think that's probably better. So this is not shiny loot. So the upgrade icon that we have for it, which is... Where is it? Might not be called shiny loot. Shiny... No, it's not called shiny loot. Loot value, instant loot, lots of loot, item value, item... I don't know what it's called. Loot value. This is not it. Oh, I'm gonna find it. I guess I'll search for it like this. I don't know why I made that so hard on myself. Open treasure chest. Okay, there we go. Aha, here, yes. That looks good. After a week of unpleasantly warm weather. Yeah, it was warm. Might even say hot. I don't think it was like heat wave hot though. There was supposed to be a heat wave. There's a heat advisory. It's not as bad as some of the people are talking about in Europe or the eastern US right now. Yeah, I think this is just customers tip. That way you don't have to modify prices. I think we need to show it as a tip though. Getting triple digit here, yeah. Triple digit should just never happen. We just ban that. Nowhere should be able to have triple digit temperatures. Thermometer should only go up to 99. After that point, it just some like klaxon goes off. Your speed, I think that's a pretty good upgrade to get. Let's go do that. This probably has a skeleton icon. Maybe. I don't actually know. What does it look like? Oh, well, customer speed looks like that. Swift shoes, yeah. It's just a boot. It's a boot. Swift shoes uses running shoe. Running shoe is right there. Okay, so we go paste this in. And then we tell it add a perk using running shoe is the icon. The perk name is player speed, maybe? Its description is increases your movement speed. Each level should increase your speed by 20%. Yeah, that's it. And how are we doing on quota now? 56%. Before adding your speed. Okay. Yeah, I think tomorrow is just going to be about polish. I wonder if it should just be polishing this game, though. No, probably shouldn't be. Unless it's cleanup. Cleanup we can do. Pretty much saving tomorrow for like boring tasks. So much stuff here. I don't want all this stuff here. I mean, we're making good progress. Adding extra features, money, UI, more upgrades, customer behavior, portal. Yeah, that's actually a decent amount of stuff. I mean, it's been, what, 3 hours? Yeah. And we're about to get one more thing. I mean, it's not like I'm really tying myself up doing this. I found another game. Where is it? Or another asset pack. This is a really cool looking asset pack. The only thing that's missing, I think, is like animated backgrounds. But this looks like you'd make a pretty small game out of it. I'm imagining you can run, jump, and attack. And that's it. And yeah, I want to think of what we could do here with this. How much is this? $15. Wait, what? Get this asset pack in 24 more for $8. I'm confused. What is this? Fantasy all-in-one character tile set item. Okay, that's kind of funny. Yeah, this is 50% off. So this is normally $7.49. Yeah, I see the price here now. But for 50 cents more, you get everything else. I don't totally understand though, because it says it's all in one. So like, is there anything that's not included? Does it have a Slime King in here? These are very cutesy looking slimes. My goodness. Armor items. I never really got this. Like, this is not going to modify what your character looks like. So how do people use this? It's not like they have weapon. They don't have the swinging animations for all of these. I guess you could add it to the game and add like a swinging animation for some of this, but you can't add it for bows. Swing a bow. Although it actually would be pretty funny. Maybe we should do that in the game. Yeah, I'll write down that this is part of a bundle that's only 50 cents more than that particular pack. Got to run and clean some stuff up. Have a good rest of your day. Have fun at the wedding. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think I have been socializing quite a lot in the last couple days, and there are a lot of plans this week too. And I only have so much energy, so hopefully I'm still kind of with it today. I don't think this stream was bad or anything. All right, so now we have a your movement speed. So this is how fast you move by default. If we grant a bunch of items, and I go set this to 9,000, speed it up. Okay, they sold. Now we go upgrade our speed. That's 20% faster. Yeah, this is felt. This is felt because you're controlling it. And let's upgrade it 3 more times. Yeah, this is cool. I like that. I think it's still controllable too. It's not like it's out of control. And you got to be careful about that with player speed. If you ever make them move at like 4,000 pixels per second, they can't do any fine control anymore. camera smoothing messing that up? No, yeah. Yeah, I think this is pretty neat. All right, nice. Let's go review this. Looks good. Your speed multiplier looks good. Base walk speed is 80. Get the current walk speed. You could just do base walk speed plus the. It doesn't matter. Yeah. This is all totally fine. Okay. Add player speed perk. All right, where you at? Where you at? Backlog. Here, your speed done. So how many items are in each chest? I think that's pretty important. Yeah, customers tipping. Customer tips. Maybe just treasure chests contain money in them. Nah, they contain items. Items are money. It's practically the same thing. How many items are in each chest? More treasure stands, more item stands. So that would be 4 more. How many do we have in the UI right now? 5? But we can fit 5 easily per row. So we have plenty of space. So we're not going to run out from that point of view. I don't want this to scroll. So like we have a limit of maybe we could shrink this down a little bit and fit like 14 total. But I don't want it to be more than that. And we're not going to use 14. We have 4 more planned and like 1 maybe. So that'd be 10. Any other things though? I don't think customer speed makes sense still. Yeah. All right, so with the last thing that I'll do here, I'll just say I want cost is currently set like so. It's some export cost thing. Let's just go find a 3 export. Where is it? Should be in perk button, right? Oh, I'm in the wrong code base. Oh my God. That should really never happen. All right, where is loot boxes? Here we go. Yeah, so right now we export costs like this. Right now, perks have their cost exported like this. I want to expose it as a list of costs that correspond. I want to manifest cost as a list of ints that corresponds, well, an array or list corresponds to the number of levels. Is that how we did it in Skeleseller? Max customers. Where's the cost? Oh, cost is in perk data somewhere. So we got to go find that. Perk constants. Here it is. Cost 50, 75, 200, 450, 750. And there were 6 levels. Okay, yeah. So let's just do it the same way. Corresponds to the number of levels minus 1 since we have to manifest a level 0 value that you don't have to purchase. This doesn't have to be oh yeah, it shouldn't even be exported. Why do I care about that? Let's just set it through the code. This array or list should not be exported. I can just set it through the code. It may even make more sense to add it to perk data. Yeah, figure out the best way to do this and then do it. I could have a plan. I don't care. I'm being lazy about this because I'm about to end the stream. So yeah, I got to get going because I got to go, like I said, get lunch and then prep for that wedding function. But I'll be back tomorrow. It'll probably be a half day. I'll probably be pretty tired, I'm guessing. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, so let me go find someone to raid. Is Cakes online? I never get to raid Cakes. He is not online. All right, well, let's go raid Nourish. Hey, Krasner, and thank you very much. Yeah, unfortunately, it's only a half day because I've got something to attend to today. But yeah, this is not like an every Monday kind of schedule I'm going to be doing. And Tim Bears, hey, thank you for being here. Okay, well, cheers, everyone. Take care. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Goodbye.